All right, let's set the scene. The NFL's abuzz with talk that sounds straight out of a Hollywood script. A fifth-round rookie quarterback, Shedeur Sanders, is making waves in Cleveland. And it's not just some clickbait headline. This kid's got the Browns' quarterback room in a full-on frenzy. At first, folks laughed it off, Shedeur taking over. No way. Pure fantasy football nonsense. But those chuckles have turned into wide-eyed stares. The whispers are getting louder, and they're not stopping. Something big's brewing in Browns camp, and every insider from ESPN Cleveland to Bleacher Report is saying the same thing. Shedeur Sanders isn't just showing flashes. He's taking charge. This wasn't supposed to be his moment. Fifth-round picks don't waltz into the league and steal the QB1 job, especially not in a room stacked with vets like Kenny Pickett, Joe Flacco, and Dylan Gabriel. But word from inside the facility is that the script's flipped. Coaches are scrambling to rewrite their plans, players are hyped, and the front office, they're sweating, trying to figure out how to handle this kid who's suddenly a legit contender for the starting gig. One teammate put it plain and simple. Shedeur's got a great head on his shoulders. Always smiling, always bringing the energy. You want to play for a guy like that. That's the kind of vibe you can't fake. It's the stuff that rallies a locker room and gets you ready to run through a wall. Let's rewind to how this all started. Picture a high-stakes minicamp drill, full-speed move, the ball action where every throw's under a microscope. This is where rookies usually fade into the background, right? Not Shedeur. Without any fanfare, he quietly jumped ahead of Gabriel in the rotation. No drama, no hesitation, just stepped into the huddle like he owned the joint. And then he lit it up. We're talking high-velocity darts over the middle, threading tight windows, and leading the offense like a seasoned pro. One insider didn't mince words. This wasn't a fluke. This was a statement. The numbers back it up. Over his college career, Shedeur completed over 71% of his passes. Last season, even while getting sacked 42 times, he still posted a jaw-dropping 74% completion rate. That's elite-level ball under pressure. But it's not just the stats that have folks in Cleveland buzzing. It's how fast he's picking up the playbook. One assistant coach reportedly told a buddy he sees it on the whiteboard once, walks through it once, and then runs it like he's been doing it for years. That's next-level brain power, especially for a day 3 pick. They're asking him to climb a mountain, earn a roster spot, fight for reps, and maybe even snag the starting job in a room with no clear franchise guy. No Tom Brady, no Aaron Rodgers, just a wide-open competition. And if it's really about the best man winning, Shedeur's toolbox might just be the sharpest. If you think this is all media hype, think again. This kid's been surgical. Despite taking over 90 sacks in 2 brutal college seasons, he's still out here dropping dimes with poise and precision. Now, behind an NFL-caliber offensive line with pro-level playmakers, he's shredding defenses in practice. Every leak clip tells the same story: sharp, aggressive throws hitting receivers in stride, over the middle, on sideline fades in the red zone. I've been glued to ESPN Cleveland's coverage, and let me tell you, the Browns secondary looks like they're chasing ghosts out there. Across all the footage, I saw just one interception from the entire QB group. One. Denzel Ward and the crew better lock it down, because Shedeur's carving them up like a Thanksgiving turkey. Here's where it gets juicy. If head coach Kevin Stefanski starts Kenny Pickett, that screams playing it safe, trying to save his job and win now. But if he rolls the dice on Shedeur, that's a signal he's got faith in the kid and the long-term vision. Sources inside the building say Pickett and Gabriel were supposed to duke it out for QB1 with Flacco and Shedeur as depth pieces. Nobody saw this coming. Now the locker room's rallying behind the rookie. Even pro defensive end Myles Garrett couldn't hold back, saying Shedeur walks in with a smile and lights up the room. That's not just talk. That's a team captain recognizing a leader. And this week, the coaching staff made it official. Shedeur's getting first-team reps. This ain't a one-day test drive. They're giving him a real shot to take the crown. Behind closed doors, it's a mess. The original plan was to bring Shedeur along slowly, keep him low on the depth chart, let him marinate. But the tape changed everything. Every rep was crisp, every throw on time. One front office guy reportedly said, "We thought we could stash him. Now we're wondering if we have to start him." Cleveland's stuck in a tough spot. Play him, trade him, or risk losing him. It's a high-stakes puzzle with no easy answers. Meanwhile, Pickett's grinding, Flacco's staying cool, and Gabriel's trying to keep up. And don't forget Deshaun Watson, quietly rehabbing his Achilles, maybe plotting one last move. But the real heat's coming from a wild trade rumor floating around. Bleacher Report's Brent Sobleski dropped a bombshell, a 3-team blockbuster involving elite cornerback Jalen Ramsey. The structure. Cleveland sends Greg Newsome to the Bears and gets left tackle Braxton Jones in return. This kind of move could shake the franchise to its core. A megastar on a massive deal might be on his way out, while a dark horse rookie is climbing the depth chart. And there's more. Another 3-team trade proposal's making the rounds, the kind that could flip 3 front offices overnight. This ain't just gossip, it's high-stakes chess. Let's take a quick trip down memory lane. Back in 2023, Joe Flacco joined the Browns in late November and turned into a straight-up gunslinger. 4 wins in 5 starts, 300-yard games left and right, and a spark that brought the dog pound back to life. That was then. Now, Cleveland's got Pickett, Gabriel, and a fifth-round wildcard in Shedeur who's flipping the script. This kid's got a chip on his shoulder the size of Lake Erie, and he's using every doubter's tweet as fuel. Draft weekend had analysts mocking his slide, nitpicking his pocket presence, even calling him entitled. But Shedeur didn't sulk. He showed up in Barrier ready to turn heads. The practice tape, it's a thing of beauty. Completions, touchdowns, clean mechanics, and razor-sharp reads. By day 3 of minicamp, the critics were eating their words. Shedeur was dropping back shoulder lasers, lofting perfect bucket throws, and reading blitzes like he's been in the league a decade. Fans behind the fences were losing it, yelling, "Did you see that?" Yeah, we saw it. And so did every defensive coordinator now, wishing they'd scouted him harder. Unofficial camp stats say he's completed 87% of his full speed reps under live pressure, numbers even pro ballers struggle to match. In 2-minute drills, he went 5 for 5, including a 35-yard dime to Elijah Moore that had defenders spinning. No turnovers, no sacks, just ice, cold execution from a kid they said wasn't ready. Don't sleep on Shedeur's physical gifts either. This dude's built like a linebacker with a cannon for an arm. Think Nolan Ryan in cleats, he'll still be throwing heat in his 40s. But the Browns' QB room is a circus. Watson's injury clouds week 1. Flacco's got experience but no highlight reel sizzle. Pickett's overthrowing passes like he's aiming for the cheap seats, and Gabriel's struggling to hit tight windows. Shedeur, he's not just surviving, he's dominating. By day 3, coaches were fist bumping after his throws, and receivers were begging to run routes with him. His timing's so smooth it's like he's been starting forever. Cleveland started 9 different QBs in the last 2 years, 4 in 2023 alone. It's been a revolving door, but Shedeur's got a shot to slam it shut. Viral clips are dropping left and right, like one where he uncorks a 50-yard cross-body rope, hitting a receiver over the wrong shoulder because he rid the DB's hips. NFL Network analysts are debating if it's Mahomes-esque or just Rodgers-light, but one thing's clear, Cleveland might have found its franchise guy by accident. ESPN's Mina Kimes summed it up with a fire emoji and his draft number 144. That's all it took to spark a league-wide frenzy. Here's where it gets spicy. Word is, team owner Jimmy Haslam's circling October 12th as Shedeur's debut. He's not waiting around. He wants his prized rookie starting now. Problem is, the Browns are playing in London that week, and the coaching staff's pushing back hard. They don't want Shedeur's first NFL start to be a high-pressure global showcase. They're begging for one more week, but Haslam's not known for patience. The last 5 years of Browns QBs, none finished the season as the starter. That's not a coincidence, it's a pattern. Haslam's made it clear Shedeur's his guy, even overruling Stefanski and the scouts to draft him. Sound familiar? It's Johnny Manziel, Baker Mayfield, and Deshaun Watson all over again? Chasing headlines instead of building chemistry. Then there's the drama with the Giants. A leaked clip from their draft process tried to paint Shedeur as unprofessional, but it backfired big time. Fans and media are demanding the full tape, and the Giants' silence is only making things worse. Hashtags are trending, podcasts are buzzing, and rival teams are second, guessing their own draft decisions. Pittsburgh's Mike Tomlin praised Shedeur's skills but passed on him, citing caution from past QB headaches. The Raiders loved his quick release and West Coast offense fit at the combine, but they had doubts about his ceiling. Now, that Giants clip has turned Shedeur into an underdog hero, a symbol of fighting back against shady narratives. The more they try to bury him, the brighter he shines. Look, I'm all in on Shedeur's talent, but starting him week 1 might be a mistake. Not because he's not ready. He's got the arm, the brains, and the swagger, but because history says so. I once asked Andy Reid about starting rookie QBs, and he said, "I don't like throwing them in right away." The stats back him up. The last decade's NFL MVPs, Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Rodgers, Josh Allen, Tom Brady, none started week 1 as rookies. You've got to go back to Matt Ryan in 2016 to find one who did. Rushing Shedeur could mess with his confidence and set a bad precedent. But if Haslam gets his way and the London game looms, Stefanski's in a no-win spot. Start Pickett or Gabriel and lose early, and fans will be chanting for Shedeur by week 3. Start Shedeur and he struggles, and it's on Stefanski's head. This ain't just a QB competition. It's a revolution. Shedeur Sanders didn't ask for the spotlight, but he's owning it. He's dominating practices, winning over teammates, and forcing the Browns to rethink everything. The media's flipping too. James Jones on NFL Network called him Cleveland's best option right now. There's even talk the coaching staff wanted him all along, but the front office drafted Gabriel early to dodge Haslam's meddling. Now, the question nobody wants to ask out loud is Shedeur already the best QB on this roster? If the camp buzz is true, and all signs say it is, the takeover's already in motion. Cleveland might have stumbled onto its franchise quarterback by pure luck, and the rest of the NFL's waking up to it. Stay tuned. Dog Pound. This story's just getting started. Thanks for hanging with me, folks! Smash that like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments who you think should start week 1. I'll catch you in the next one!